insurance for it.
Well, I think our insurance
We
will,
have,
or
yeah.
anything.
Okay, you know.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I have for you.
Okay. Mr. Curriculum Guy,
The curriculum guy.
the curriculum guy.
Summer school, we're plugging along with that. We've had 2 meetings with all our, between on both campuses, they've got their teachers for summer school now. And we've had a couple meetings regarding that. We've had 1 meeting where we're starting to write the curriculum for summer school now. And now they're just meeting as groups, first grade, second grade. First grade met yesterday. They met yesterday doing curriculum. We've got another summer school meeting coming up next Wednesday, and we're still meeting, and we're hoping to have all that done by April 1. Those of you that do have kids, sorry, you're gonna start getting some flyers at home, you know.
No, we're not. You're getting flyers. We're not sorry. You're coming.
For the kids that want,
You
you
will
know, I probably
joyfully
won't see
receive a
that.
flyer.
Joyfully received general mail.
Imagine I'll see it.
Theme and everything, and then we'll send some more home a little bit later, you know, with the kids, and planning on having some assemblies with the kids too, trying to pump up summer school as far as that. Summer school is gonna be May 28th through June 21st, that's 90 days.
May 28th?
May 28th, that's a Tuesday, right after
Through when?
June 21st.
Is that like a Thursday?
And
It's a
it starts
Tuesday
on
through Friday.
Tuesday, which is right after,
Memorial Day.
And is it just like, they don't go on Mondays, just Tuesday?
they do, it's
Oh,
Monday through Friday.
it is
Yeah,
Monday
Monday
through
through
Friday, 8 to 3,
So they'll do.
Okay,
correct.
are we doing high school just like we normally do?
High school is still credit recovery.
Okay.
And so,
With
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 we will also
lifetime
have PE.
sports, yeah,
PE
PE will be
class.
in there. So.
We will have that. We did that last year as well.
Yeah, that's not a change from last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've looked into a few places on where to get gift cards for kids, trying to minimize that cost as much as possible. No bank hardly will even, they laugh at you when you suggest it, so.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and trying to find, and then to load a card is about $3.99 a card, so I think we found some place that's significantly cheaper than that, so we can make sure we do that and everything, and then just
Can't
figure out
just
the
go with
process.
Walmart cards?
That's what I was wondering.
Pardon me?
Can't just do Walmart cards?
You can do a Walmart card,
It don't cost
except
you anything.
then you're just locked into the vendor of Walmart,
Yeah.
so.
That's all right.
So, some places have done that, and they caught flack from their patrons
Yeah,
because that was
exactly.
the only place they could go to spend their card.
So I thought we could do like a reloadable MasterCard or something.
Those
You
are-
can.
but those cost you money.
But they want
Oh,
to charge you to put
okay,
money on there.
okay,
But for me to
sorry.
put $100
It's a
on it, it cost me
percentage.
$4.99 to do that.
But
Oh.
Well,
But I-
he's done a very good job
I
and found
a
another
place
spot that will do
can
that for us
For
at cheaper.
$1.99 a card.
Right.
okay, I'll think of the name of it, I'll send it to you. I can't think of the name of it right now. but
I've
tell me.
I've
Yeah,
got
I've
about
got
3
that
written
kind of
down
thing.
in there that I've called,
Okay.
I've emailed and everything, so. But we can definitely do it cheaper than $4, or even Commerce Bank was the cheapest
Oh, my gosh.
bank that would do it at $3.99, so
Mhm.
we can make that work. Second grade is starting to do their third benchmark testing session, and we're just doing second grade, mostly because we're starting to do our math practice testing, and I don't want them to do benchmark testing, math practice, and then have their heads
That's-
spinning around. Yeah, we're gonna test them to death.
Did we have any testing going on in January?
Well, we had 2 practice sessions go on in January, but that was just at the high school. They took practice EOCs in English, so.
I was just wondering with attendance being down, did that,
No, we did
Okay.
not have any scheduled then, not for the elementaries or anything. And those were not required testing
Okay.
at the high school anyway, so it was no big deal. It was a practice test with a new format, and I really wanted them to take it just so they could see it.
okay.
So,
What benchmark test are you using on second graders?
the study island one,
The study
for
island.
ELA and math, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And then, like I said, our math practice testing is getting ready to begin in both math and ELA for 3rd through.
Are you doing the print copies and the online copies, or?
We're just gonna do the print copies, and then and when we say practice test, I mean,
I know what you mean.
this is as simple as the teacher putting it up there,
Mhm.
doing a few problems at a time instead of just having everybody sit down now.
Yeah.
With the 3rd grade, they are gonna do the
Computer.
full blown, just because they
You know
haven't
how to
ever
navigate it?
experienced it.
Yeah,
Though the kids that are on study island, they're
it
used.
navigates the same way?
Yes,
Okay.
it's almost totally
So it's
identical
online?
except to a
Okay.
few tools, so they're used
Study
to
islands
it.
online.
So.
Where are we taking them to do
Yeah.
that? Would the third graders go to the library to do that, or how
I
do
mean,
they?
they're
they
in
got
the
two,
computer lab.
the screen goes
Computer
this way
lab,
on
that's
this
what I
side and on
Yeah.
this way on this side, and it's just.
It just looks different
It's
to
weird.
them.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
You gotta do both
And how long will
sides.
that take? Is that a week-long process, or?
Oh.
No.
kill me if it is. No, it shouldn't be, no.
I just didn't know.
Hopefully 2 days,
Okay,
hopefully 2 days. And it might be a little bit longer at Granby just because they have a big group right there, so it might just take a little bit longer with them.
okay.
But that's about all we have, and then in April or Marchish,
When
in
is the
March,
map test?
or
Yeah, when is the map test?
April.
April?
April.
The whole month of April.
Sometime in April.
Have you said it yet?
They're set. It's not the whole month of April, but it's a pretty good chunk of it. I will say it's, you're almost using every 3 days and every week to try to do it. We try not to test on a Tuesday, but sometimes you just can't get around it just because that's when they come back from a Monday off, so. So that's a lot of it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, any old business? Moving on, new business. Bank update account signatures.
Mrs. Vest and Joyce Williams were still on CDs at Guarantee Bank.
Wow,
We never knew that because Joyce was the only one who was on it. So they called us and said we need to, our CDs came up this year and we're like, okay. So we need to remove Joyce and Mrs. Vest and add Karen Marnie and Dr. Mitchell.
okay, is there a motion? And a second? All in favor, say aye.
Do we have to have them sign off, or is it just
No.
because of the
No,
motion of the
it's a-
board?
I just need minutes.
From the board.
Okay. 2018 policies and procedures. Boy, that's some reading material. I believe you have a few updates for us on that?
There are a few, but I typed up a top page.
Thank you.
And these are
Thank you
just
a lot.
some
That-
abbreviations. Almost all of these are procedural things. They're either in Senate bills or House bills and making changes. I want to say the first maybe 15 are all just things we have to do. If you want, I can go through them briefly.
Does anybody got any questions, anything give you
Well,
heartburn on this?
Go
one?
ahead.
I just think if it's policy, we do need to.
That's fine.
We should adopt without, so if you, I would.
Oh, no,
prefer to go
that's
through
fine.
it, but
Well, the first one's board elections. All that really changes is how you, if you decide you want to run for board and then you want to drop out, it says you can now, you just have to give written notice in person.
Oh,
That's,
you used to not be able to? Oh,
now,
really?
this
You
is,
just
this
call.
is once the ballot is printed.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Then you would have to reprint them at your expense, but I can still
I
review
got
it.
you.
Yeah, that's BBB. The 4B one, that's school ballot issues. That reduces the amount of time you have to change content that's already printed. It used to be 6 Tuesdays before the election, now it's the 8th Tuesday before the election. So, it also had something to do with the community college district expansion, and I honestly have no idea what that is because we're not part of a community college district, but I guess if Neosho
Aren't we?
and Collin,
Aren't we all part of Crowder?
Well, if I read it right,
yes,
then what it is if they wanted to extend their boundaries.
correct,
Mm-hmm.
for tax
And-
purposes.
And we're not
Okay,
gonna
gotcha.
be, they're not going to hit us, it's
Correct.
going to hit
Okay.
Neosho.
DC is governing board issuing bonds, and this says all bonds have to be issued through a competitive process unless it's not required of general obligation bonds that meet these things. If they're sold to the federal government or an agency of the federal government or the state of Missouri, if they don't exceed $12,500,000, or that it's a refinance. So you don't have to do a competitive one for that. DG, depository of funds, really, there was hardly any language at all in that policy. It was all in the procedure DGAP one. So they were moving the language from the procedure to the policy. And all that basically says that anytime you want to get a bank, you want to go to a new bank, they were supposed to give you $2,500 of good faith money. They don't have to do that anymore. DGFA is federal projects and programs, and all that really says is try to buy American. That's the,
That's what
the commodities and everything, is try to use that as much as possible. And we can't just use a local preference with federal money. You know, if there's somebody we always go to, we can't just do that with federal money, we have to do a bid process with it. GBAC, staffing employee retirees. This is replacing a policy. This is for non-certificated people like paras. So if you came back and worked as a para, you can only earn up to $15,000. Not at a teacher's salary, but at a non-certificated salary. And you can only work a maximum of 550 hours a year. GD, part-time and substitute employment, that's going back to teachers and everything. We can employ part-time teachers. We may also use job sharing. You can have 2 teachers share a position if you want to. They have to work at least 17 hours a week, no more than 20 hours a week though, and 70% of their time has to be with student instruction. And again, you can only work up to 550 hours.
So we can use retirees.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
And so
None
this,
of
so
that's
this
changed.
one is talking about certified.
Correct,
Okay.
that is certified. The one before that was non.
Okay.
EBC, criminal background checks. Basically, it says if we have an employee that does something, and they have, it was not in the policy what the lists were, but there's a list of items. If somebody commits one of those infractions, then we have to let public retirement know because they can take their retirement away from them based on what the offense is. GCPC, again, that's a rescinding. GDPC is a rescinding, and putting all those in GBAC. IC is the academic calendar. That's the new thing that's getting ready to come up, and that basically just says all we have to do is go to school 1,044 hours, and we have to have 36 hours worth of makeup embedded in there somewhere.
But it says calendar meeting is no longer required.
Correct. You don't have to have a calendar meeting anymore. Not
Good.
specific, as long as you just do it within your board meeting. So you don't have to have a 5:15 meeting anymore. You can just do it during your regular board meeting.
We, however, still have to say we're gonna start,
You do
you
have-
still have to have a calendar meeting, cause we have to say we're gonna have, we're more than, we're gonna start more than 10
You still have to put
days
in there, you
before.
wanna start school 10 days before.
Okay.
Right, so we'll still have to do that, but.
My question on the
But it
36
can be
hours.
during the
that
regular
mean-
meeting.
does that mean
Right.
If we were out more than 36 hours, we only have to make up 36?
You only have to make up half.
It becomes the exact same thing, it's the exact same thing. There's another bill that I just read out there though for alternative, ways to make schools can, if they come up with an alternative plan, you don't have to make up those days. If, you know, I don't know how, that's very, very early. I don't think it's gonna pass this year, but it's an alternative plan for, schools, so you don't have to make up your days. If you can have some way for them to make up the hours at home, they don't have to do it there. I don't know how you do that, so.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Are they?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That could get really dicey.
Yeah.
AEB is on human sexuality. This will be a fun one. We're
Describe
required to, we teach human sexuality within health. Mrs. Mason teaches it in her health classes as well. We're required to notify parents and guardians of basic content when providing it, the instruction, and they also have the right to remove students.
How's that a change?
It's
It's
not
just
really,
that
they're
line
just
right there, it looks like.
putting it in policy.
Okay, because I mean, we've been doing that for years.
And then the only thing, the thing that is a change in there is the definition. You must include the definition of consent, sexual harassment, and sexual violence when you're talking about human sexuality now.
So is the yellow new?
Yes.
Okay, so the yellow.
And the consent is probably a pretty long
Yeah, it is,
section.
Okay, so I'm just curious, I just saw that the word, is that a typo where not is scratched out in front of will not? It's scratched out not encourage students to have an abortion?
Where's it at? What page?
Surely that's, I'm sorry,
I-
it is on page 5.
Page 5, I haven't made it.
It's where the
yet.
yellow is, surely that's, see, it looks like they scratched out the word not, but it doesn't have yellow on it, see?
I don't see it.
Page 5, you said, Julie?
Yeah,
The district will not permit a person, no?
now where it says will not encourage any students to have an
Oh,
abortion.
right here.
Does it have a strike through?
Yeah.
A strike through means they're getting rid of that. It has said that before.
So they will
So
change
they
it to the
will encourage students to have an abortion?
I'm just telling you, that's a
Okay.
strike through.
Now,
and that means they get rid
here's
of
the
it.
way it will read.
Whoa.
Okay, gotcha.
No district personnel or agents acting in
Will
their official
encourage,
capacities
okay,
will
gotcha.
encourage.
Oh.
Okay,
All
that's
right,
better.
All right,
The no is
They
the
added
addition.
no, they
Okay,
added no and took
Okay.
out
no
Took
in
it
front
now
of
and
it.
put up,
Yeah.
okay, that makes more sense. Thank
It's
you.
hard to read.
So they won't.
No, we're
So
not doing
that's good,
that.
okay.
Sorry,
We're not.
Okay, we're okay.
I just saw that, oh, that was, ooh, what?
IGBB is Program for Gifted Students, and all this does is tell us to make sure that we have procedures in place for review. If a parent was having their child tested for gifted and they didn't get in, and they want to know why.
Yeah.
So
So
we're gonna tell them.
we just have to have a process, basically saying, okay, this is why your child didn't get it, this is the
But you
test.
already have that, right?
Or this is why we chose the ones we did.
Yeah, we have always done it, they're just
Yeah.
saying, you need to do it now.
Okay.
IGCE, non-traditional instruction options, and this is just moving language from one policy to another. IKE is promotion, acceleration, retention. Before, the only thing it talked about for acceleration was skipping grades. And now it's talking about, acceleration, you can provide complexity within the grade level or the subject level instead of just, promoting someone from 3rd grade to 4th grade or whatever.
But we can still promote the,
You can,
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
just giving you other options now.
okay.
IKF, graduation requirements, and all that's really changing is we used to have, the state of Missouri used to have MOVIT, and now it's called MOCAP. So that's the change. IL is the assessment program. Okay, with this, it says if we pay for the ACT for any students, that we also have to provide some students with the opportunity to take the work keys testing if they so choose.
And what is that?
Work keys testing is just a test that you can take that shows that you are job ready. Jasper County is a work keys ready, Newton County is work keys ready. It comes in like metals, platinum, gold, silver, bronze. If you're platinum and I come up and you're applying for the same job I am, you can show your platinum certification, and that means that you know a lot of the skills that are necessary to start this job right off the bat.
Okay.
So hopefully it's more conducive for you.
So it says we'll pay for those tests if we are paying for the ACT.
Correct, so I mean, instead
How are we paying
of,
for this?
you're not college
last
bound, so you wanna take work keys instead of the ACT, we'll pay for the work keys. Work keys usually runs us about $40.
How much does ACT cost us?
Without without the writing portion, now it's about $60.
Okay.
And we pay for that through Title IV money.
And we used to pay for every junior to take it, now we
Yep.
just pay for the juniors who want to take it.
And so now will we pay for those ones who want to take work keys if they want it?
Sure.
Okay.
Who recognizes work keys? I mean, if they.
I don't know.
Well, work keys, it's fairly new. I mean, last year, I took the work keys test.
Are
I
you
didn't
talking
score,
about-
I didn't score
are you talking about
platinum, platinum, so I wasn't ready for that test.
I mean,
I know that a certain number of businesses have to do it for the county to be recognized, so I know
Right.
Jasper County is, and I know Newton County is, but I
There's all-
can't tell you what.
And really, it comes down to business participation. Newton County has 60-some businesses that are participating. I don't know how much they use it, but
Right.
they've got them signed off and saying, we'll use this.
The
So,
chambers, the big.
Yeah.
Yeah, your chambers.
They were pushing it
Right.
several years ago.
Oklahoma's had it for about 15 years. and It's
Really?
gotten big down there, yeah.
Well, and it's a good way to, it's what it really is a good way to get at our kids if they take the test and they
Not
score high.
necessarily more
It gets them a
skills
step
in
up.
math,
Hopefully,
reading,
that's the
and
Not just
idea.
like,
locating.
I get smarter, doesn't
It's
have a
a
job.
lot like
Yes.
the ACT, except just not as common.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. Mhm.
Not as much, holy
JECC is assignment of students to grade levels. And what all that says, if we have a student that comes in that are taking those virtual courses from another district and they move here, we have to allow them to continue to take them. So they come in and they're taking a class and they move here now, we can't say we don't offer it, we're gonna have to give them the opportunity to still take that class here as well.
And how do we do that?
Give them a computer.
Yeah.
right.
JHD, Student Counseling Program, that updates terminology to the current, that's currently used by counselors. A lot of that is, you'll see guidance scratched out and counseling is replaced, and that's what the most major changes in are for there as far as terminology. And KB is public information, this goes to the whistleblower law, and that just basically says that it prohibits us from disciplining employees for commenting on matters concerning the district operation, because it's free speech.
We already had that.
And that was already in place, it's just in policy.
It just says it won't be disciplined, just a new
Right, no, that was, well, there
yellow.
must be some change.
That's what I'm saying, that's the only thing yellow,
Okay.
that must be it.
Okay,
I think they used to.
seeing that, is there any questions or comments? We need a
Well,
motion. Go
I
ahead.
wanna look at a couple of them, if
Okay.
you'll give me, if you'll give us a few minutes.
All right, no problem. Does anybody wanna look at any others? You can talk about any others.
Couple of things here I was trying to look at, and I got,
We're just reading today or we passing?
Well, Tammy, would you like to describe the situation?
It's
Either way,
up
she'll
to
make
you.
whatever works.
Whatever you guys wanna do.
But we're gonna have more coming down real
There's a
soon,
chance
so
we
that,
will, I mean, because it is February, it's March, it's almost March. It's time for more.
okay, what I'm looking at, Scott, is this, IGCE.
IGCE.
Uh-huh. It's the last one on your cheat sheet there.
Yep.
So I'm looking at, I'm just looking at it, I can see what's in yellow, so that's the new.
Yep.
So are we allowing students at this time? Do we have students who have asked to take courses and are we allowing that?
Virtual, it's on the
Uh-huh.
website, and we are allowing them. If they request it, we will do it.
And does it have to be a class that we don't
physically.
offer, or can it be something that is offered as long as,
When it comes right down to it, it can be something that we do offer if they wish to take it.
okay, that's what that was the thing that I was.
And that's not in the policy, but that's in the state law.
Okay. I was trying to kind of read through it quickly to see. And do we have kids, did you say yes or no?
Right now, we have 4 kids. We use Launch as our virtual system. We don't use MOCAP. MOCAP is just like MOCAP, but we use Launch, which is through Springfield. It's through Springfield Public Schools. We use Springfield Public Schools teachers, and we have 4 students right now. 2 are taking chemistry, 1's taking psychology of the Holocaust, and I can't remember the 4th.
And if the way it works is if they're doing it at home on their own, we get 94% of attendance back for it. If they're doing it at school,
We get all of it.
we get all the 100% attendance, so it's a win-win for us, we don't.
right, we did that
How
last
how do
year.
these count, if we don't have that class as a credit here?
We signed up last year with Springfield for that.
Oh, we just signed that?
Yeah,
Yes,
So they
we
count
do
as a
that.
credit
Yes.
for that.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember
So whatever
that.
it is they're taking, then.
Okay, so that's basically what that one is. Okay, then you went a little too fast through these others.
I'm sorry.
I had read through some of them, but I hadn't gotten through all of them.
They were
I
pretty,
just kind of wanted to.
I'm just
see.
glad you haven't picked any of the first 5.
Well, those are the ones I was looking at, I'm not sure I read them correctly. Okay, on IKE, okay, so you probably said that, but you were talking real fast,
Sorry.
and I was trying to follow, so. So is this saying that students could be bumped up?
Yeah, and we've always had that. The only thing is, I mean, what you really wanna look at there is the social aspect too. Is that what's
Oh, I know.
appropriate for them?
Who's that depend on, the parents doing it? Of
Your
course.
parents are, I mean, I guess you could have the teacher request it as well and say this is a good idea. I think the first thing that we would do, which was kind of what we were talking about, is they're gonna look within subject level. You know, does Terry just need, more math? Is that what he needs? Or, I mean, is he just far and along better in everything, he just needs to, we just need to put him up here for something. We've done that before, I can remember a student when I was at Granby as the junior high principal, he came out here for Algebra 1, for
Wow.
math.
Mhm.
That was, and then he just came back for everything else, so we did some sort of acceleration in that.
I see, but mainly staying in his own grade level.
Yeah.
Well, there's a student right now that's kinda doing that. I think he's a pre-K and he goes on up to, like, does some first grade stuff and then,
Oh, really? Oh, okay,
He
okay. From
really-
pre-K? Oh,
And,
sorry.
and I think lots of times the teachers are gonna do, the teachers are
That's okay, yeah,
gonna
that's
augment
good.
whatever they
That's
think is best for that
that's
child.
good.
yep.
No, it's more like, should we?
Do we, on, okay, so here it is, on here. Are we still looking, do we still look at our students who are below 3rd grade?
I don't think that's the reading level thing.
Yeah, because this says 3rd grade, I thought it was 4th
It
grade.
used to be 4th grade.
I thought, yeah, this says 3rd, I thought it was 4th grade.
We're in, I
What
think,
number?
Back when, if you weren't on the 4th grade level.
Oh,
you were
the-
Oh, it says a
grade.
below a 3rd grade, it says below a 3rd grade reading
Yeah, 'cause they have
level,
to be
according
more
to
than
the
one
4th
grade
grade
level
reading
behind, yeah.
assessment, yeah.
Is that still
So,
a clean, keeping
Used to
that,
be
or?
two
we're
grade
not,
levels.
we're not as militant about it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Nobody is, I
it
don't
used to be,
think.
retention, But we still do encourage them to come to summer
Right.
school for
But we
that.
give parents, we work
Correct.
with
Well,
our
and there was
parents,
always
okay.
so many loopholes, so.
Correct.
That didn't really change anything, that I understood.
Well, it said if you were
I
reading
appreciate
one
you
more
guys.
than one
Oh,
year,
oh,
one
oh,
fourth
yeah.
grade,
Okay,
you
I'm
couldn't
clear.
go to fifth grade.
Right.
I'm clear on it.
Never did.
You sure?
Yes.
Thank you, Scott, that really helped, because that would've been much more than.
No problem.
Well, yeah.
Okay,
It's just important
motion?
to know.
to approve the policies and procedures.
I so move.
Been properly moved, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any other discussion or anything else? Seeing none, we shall proceed to vote. All in favor, raise your right hand.
Were you ready?
Oh, sorry,
Were you ready?
I think we'll be okay.
Wait for Mandy and then we'll vote.
Okay.
Should we man?
Otherwise, we have to write her out.
Yeah, you have to write her out if you don't.
We don't want that.
We're ready to have a vote on it.
Okay.
Are you okay with
I
it?
had to go to the bathroom.
I know.
Not a problem. All in favor, raise your right hand. 7-0, motion passes. Okay, we had the number 3 was moved up to public comment. So, anything else for the night? If not, I will accept a motion to go into closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Let's do it.
Okay, I want to show you this, Scott. This is, we did this.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait.
Back there?
Like, forever.
Yes.
Okay, I want to try one like
Have you not had
Oh,
that?
yeah, not yet, we're not ready for them yet. After close, should be 10 minutes, hopefully.
I would screw it up for you, but
I know they're pretty.
So it's just,
your lunch is just
So
Yeah.
good.
I set too long.
Bass Pro Elite, everything